And we're going to fire it off with this sound. The sound of...
It's funny. I was
Ooh!
I was looking at a thing with the Olympic... Jesus Christ.
You were looking at a thing with the Olympics?
With the Olympic outfits? Dude, what is going on?
I'm licking the Diet Coke off the can. Did I just splatter this everywhere? Go on. You were looking at a thing with the Olympics?
And it was in French.
Oh, man. Who understands that?
Well, that's the thing. They had the different countries' uniforms.
Uh-huh.
And I genuinely couldn't tell what some of the countries were. But the Czech Republic really gave me trouble.
Why?
Because it's just TCHE. I don't even know. QUEI.
Oh, it's written in Czech?
In
Republic?
French.
Oh, yeah.
You
know who had killer uniforms is Mongolia.
Yeah, everyone's talking about the Mongolia ones.
Everyone's
talking about the Mongolia
Ralph
uniforms.
Lauren really does kill it every year for America, though.
They're kind of cool. It's just jeans and a cool blazer, I guess.
Is there nothing more American than that?
The men's tennis team looks a bit goofy, I will say. They look like race car drivers.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they look like big old tennis balls or something.
No.
That's what they should have done. They should have had to come out.
They're all going to get their asses kicked anyway on clay.
By who? The French?
Probably the Spanish.
Oh, yeah. Go like this. You got a little hair on your nose. No, just give it a good wipe. You got it.
I'm working downtown with Betty on me. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on. So listen on up to Betty on me. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on.
Well, folks, a lot of stuff just keeps on happening. May you live in interesting times indeed.
They won't let stuff stop happening.
They won't let things stop happening.
We called them. We said, hey, could you slow it down? And they said, nope, we're just going to keep shoving this shit down.
Well, when I called, they said, who the hell is this? How'd you get this number?
Interesting.
And we *69 you, and now we know where you live.
That's not good.
Yeah, it's really not good. I'm incredibly upset about that. But
well, why don't we do some comments of the week up top?
Why don't we kick it off with a comment of the week?
Before we just start absolutely blasting you with news.
We got, we're going to blast you so hard with so much stuff. Comment number 1 comes from John Golf on the benandemilshow.com app. By the way, a lot of new members. Shout out to you guys.
Shout out to you guys.
Shout out to you. So John Golf says, I found out Trump got shot by my little brother's friend showing me a fan cam of the sniper rifle. Mom, a fan cam is one of those edits. How would you define a fan cam?
I wouldn't. If someone asked me, I'd say, look it up.
It's like a fun edit with music and shit. And then this one was a dark horse. It came quite at the last minute.
And that's the thing. If you're in line, stay in line. They have to count your vote. These are good up until the last minute, so make sure to get your comment of the week in.
This one from YouTube, username Dark Mudge. Dark Mudge? Dark Mudge. Who knows? Another fantastic episode from Mr. Poop and Mr. Book.
Not beating the Mr. Book allegations.
Yeah, I forgot why everybody on the app was saying willy nilly.
Yeah,
and then I remembered it's because it was to piss you off, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff you get to do on the B&E app if you want to get on there.
Yeah,
that's the benandemilshow.com. You get to comment willy nilly and
they also
drive me nuts.
You had also asked to not be called Mr. Book.
Yeah, that was my first mistake.
Yeah, but then, you had... I've been... speaking of book, I didn't have a dream that I read, but I had another one of those dreams where it felt like reality. It was just so innocuous, and I woke up today, and I was like, oh, man, yeah, I should book another trip to Australia.
And he's going to tell us all about it in the bonus episode.
That's all.
Oh, wow.
I thought that I was going to have news to deliver about Jimmy Carter being dead, the former president, but apparently it was
Ben's
a hoax.
Got a line directly to his hospital bed.
Oh, his coffin. No, it's just in his coffin. They've already got him in there.
Also, leave a comment if you like Ben's shirt. He's out of T-shirts because he...
Sorry about that. I actually, I have some T-shirts, but they're just too small. And I was like, I've got all these nice shirts. I bought this thing years ago, and I never wear it. And I thought, it's too hot to wear this in the summertime in Los Angeles. But then I remembered, brother, you're going to be indoors, AC.
You're
It's
like a whole new guy.
light.
You look good. You got the highlights. You got
Enough about the highlights, man. I can't wait for them to be gone.
Why? I like
Stone
them.
my
You got a little
heart.
tan.
Yeah.
It's bouncing off the highlights. You're in your new shirt. He's been working out. His body's insane.
I worked out. Yeah, I worked out pretty hard. Anyway, Jimmy
Let's
Carter's
talk about
not
it.
dead.
Yeah.
The peanut farmer would you say he was one of the best presidents or
No.
best after president
Yeah, I think he
in terms of a life of service?
I think he really had a tough time reckoning with the horrors that comes along with being a U.S. president and weirdly dedicated his life to being a good man.
Yeah. A humble peanut farmer he was. He started out as. Didn't he sell off all his assets or put them in a blind trust or something
I'm not
once
sure.
he became president so that he would have no conflict of interest, or at least nothing that people could point to as a conflict of interest?
Not sure.
Imagine that. Imagine a president doing that. So I actually have one more little commentary on the assassination attempt on Donald Trump, which is I watched the Renee
Zellweger vehicle, Bridget Jones. Oh.
Clint Eastwood vehicle In the Line of Fire.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
No.
It stars Renee Russo and Clint Eastwood opposite.
Did you do it all in one sitting or what?
No, I didn't. Why don't you go ahead and tell them why?
No. Well, that's like a bonus.
Yeah, you're right.
Episode
All
thing.
right.
We got to get to this. We're really beating around the bush here.
Who's the bad guy that everybody makes fun of, or the actor that everybody said? John Malkovich. John Malkovich is the bad guy, but it's about how
John, if you're watching, I would never make fun of you. I would never classify you as
it's
that
just
way.
that people make fun of John Malkovich
They're not
and
making
the way
fun.
he
They're
speaks.
paying homage. It's cool.
But Clint Eastwood plays a Secret Service agent who failed to save JFK getting
Okay.
shot in the head.
Mhm.
And I just had this moment where I thought, man, it's extremely fucked up that that JFK's death was arguably the most public death of all time. Not only did his head
That's your commentary? You were
just like it's wild that
you were like, I got to get on the mic and tell people it's wild that he had a public
think about
death.
it for a second.
Yeah, it shook the entire country.
Yeah, but just that they kept on showing it over and over in slow motion. Like, yep, there goes his head.
Yeah.
Boom!
Everyone remembers where they were.
It's bananas.
Except George Bush Sr. for some reason, even though he was in Texas and in the CIA. What's the deal with that?
Wait, really?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't remember where he was?
That's what he says.
I can't do George Bush Sr. And yeah, then I also had a very painful moment last week. A stock that I had looked it up on MOOMOO actually and used their bevy of tools to make an informed decision. And I bought shares, but then I sold them, and that stock jumped up like $7, and I would have made a lot of money. But thanks to MOOMOO, I at least caught it for a minute. And yeah, check out the description link. Get yourself
you
a
rode
nice
that
little
wave as long as you could, you know?
get that thing a nice little sign-up bonus. What?
Nothing.
Yeah, and it's you know what company it is? It's the company that makes the little robots, the little automated
The
Uber
Roombas.
Eats
Yeah.
deliveries. Anywho, Joe Byron.
Bam, 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 bam.
Joe Byron stepped down, or did he actually do it? Nobody knows. Okay.
It's been a long time coming.
We
You
got a
got-
lot to pick apart with.
If you're living under a rock,
Who are they gonna say hi to?
he pooped his dang pants at the at the debate, and everyone went, "Ah, Jesus, what are we gonna do with this fucking
Smells
guy?"
like poop in here.
And they gave him like 3 weeks, and they said, "Look, we're gonna let you go on some talk shows. If you can say the right words, if you can say words right,
Yeah.
we'll let you keep the presidency." He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, easy."
Yeah.
And then he went on every TV show and he fucked it up.
Yeah.
And then they
me
were
too.
like, "Joe, we're going to give you one more chance. You're going to do the NATO talk. And if you can fucking say words right, you can do it." And he's like, "I got it." And then he called Zelensky Putin. And then he called the Vice President Donald Trump.
Didn't he call someone Obama too?
And Nancy Pelosi was like,
That's him cocking a gun for the audio list.
it was her cocking a gun.
Yeah, it was her. That's Emil hand cocking an air
That
gun.
was Nancy Pelosi cocking a
Yeah.
gun.
So what happened was
And then he tried to kiss another woman.
Yeah.
And,
I don't believe that one. He looks like he's just leaning.
No,
I
I
mean,
know.
when you're an old man, you kiss every woman. You
I'm
really
not sure
do.
if that's true.
You greet family friends with a kiss on the cheek. That kind of shit. Anyway, Joe Biden allegedly stepped down via Twitter. And there's a reason that I say allegedly, because there are some pretty credible conspiracy theories out there that it wasn't actually him and that it was a kind of coup, if you will. What do you think, my esteemed colleague?
I feel like he relented. I think he definitely didn't want to step down. I'm pretty sure even as late as Saturday, he was saying, I am staying in the race and we're going to win this thing.
Perhaps he was saying that because he felt that he had to. He had to keep the party united.
I think, and there's all this reporting of behind the scenes talk, Nancy Pelosi saying stuff like, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. We've had 3 weeks of the easy way. You're about to see the hard way. I also think, I don't know, if people were saying that he was being insulated from a lot of this from his team. So, I mean, they were saying he didn't even know how bad his numbers were and that kind of thing. And they finally were like, look at this, you fucking moron. You're turning New York into a battleground state. You're turning easy victories into hard fought things where they don't need to be.
Some of the conspiracy theorists out there allege that they got him while either they gave some go as far as to say they gave him COVID. They intentionally gave him COVID to incapacitate him to make all of this easier.
Get down to your beach house. Go down to Rehoboth.
What the hell
Take
is
it
that?
easy.
Is that in Delaware?
Yeah, Rehoboth Beach. That's where he has his beach house.
Interesting. Well,
that's where he still is, allegedly.
So these conspiracy theorists say that they got him while he was sick. Number one, they posted it to Twitter, which they posted it to. They're saying that they posted it to Twitter, which would force his hand, because once you post, obviously he's not in hand holding an iPhone posting on Twitter. He also
has never posted on Twitter.
Yeah, he's got his lackeys doing that for him. Not only that, but the actual letter that was posted features his signature, but it has something on it that is inconsistent with just about every other signature he's ever had, which is it's got an underline. He signed Joe Biden and then underlined it, and apparently he never, ever signs it like that. You could say that it was actually him doing the resignation, and then he just had someone else sign it, much like how my mom would have me sign like a check for her way back in the day because I knew how to do her signature, shit like that. But when you're the damn president of the United States, I would think that you got to sign the actual thing. Also, some of his closest advisors and stuff, it was news to them. They had to find out via Twitter. Also, he hasn't been seen in public for days. The only to
be fair, he is supposed to be isolating from COVID.
True, but
I also think, I don't know. A lot of people are like, he's dead.
People were saying he's dead,
and they're hiding it from us.
He's supposed to address the country in a few days.
Yeah, I think there's an element of whatever he comes out. The next appearance he does is going to be his biggest, most remembered thing from his legacy, where he's stepping down. I'm sure he wants to rest and not come out all sick.
Also, it begs the question, if he's dropping out of the race, does that mean that he's unfit to see out the rest of his term as president? You could argue both ways, I think. I would say that he's not and that he should step down, which would probably make the whole transition, having Kamala Harris as the next candidate, easier. But there was also this controversy that there was a campaign event in Delaware where he is. He's nowhere to be found. They had him call in, quote unquote. I believe it's a call. I believe it's real, but they're saying that some people are saying it's not.
Well, the problem is that Kamala misspeaks and says, thanks for joining the recording or whatever.
She just says rip, and then he's just call. Like, give me a break.
It's a recording.
Yeah, but here, let's play a little bit of that.
So much more we're going to get done.
So this is his voice.
And so I want to say hello to Kamala. If she can hear me, I know she's going to be speaking shortly. And I want to say to the team, embrace her. She's the best. I want to call today to thank everybody in this effort. I know yesterday's news was surprising and it was hard for you to hear, but it was the right thing to do. I know it's hard because you poured your heart and soul into me.
Even if it is a recording, I don't care. I don't think that proves or disproves anything. There is also this video of him actually addressing the country a few days ago. We should play a little bit of this because this is probably pretty
My
important.
fellow Americans, I want to take a moment to address some of the hateful shit you've been talking about me. Many of you have said I am suffering from brain worms or that I have applesauce for brains. Well, I won't mince words, so here it is. Fuck you. You're all a bunch of faggots. End of quote. Repeat the line. So enjoy President
I love how they threw an end of quote, repeat the line.
Cackles or President Booty Juice. I really don't give two fucks anymore. Biden out.
Oh, that's pretty good. Hey, guys, we got something really important to talk about, and it's men's fashion, particularly summer fashion. You're obsessed.
I have a
You're
real
obsessed.
personal story
Affinity?
with this
Oh.
one because I was desperate. I was saying, what?
I was saying, I got to get some stuff.
Well, I was like, what shorts should I get? Literally, I'm looking at J. Crew. I'm looking at Topo. I'm just going on websites looking at stuff. I'm like, none of these look good. And then I found Chubbies. All right. These are like the perfect shorts.
They also don't just make shorts. They make shirts. They got some high quality stuff, man. They got super stretchy shorts, swim trunks in 3 inseam lengths. I know you like them short shorts. They got pants, polos, button down shirts. Man, these things just hit hard.
Not only are they comfy,
Hmm.
but you look cool.
I would say sexy, actually.
And you keep cool with these
Yeah.
shorts.
Yeah,
My
that's
God.
true. You cannot do better than the Chubbies iconic original stretch shorts. They're available in 4-inch, 5.5-inch, and 7-inch inseam. I think you like the 4. That's right. And
Okay.
I'd like the 5.5.
Drag me for letting
Well,
the
because
thighs
my legs
out.
aren't as good looking as yours.
Thighs out for the guys.
Yeah. So you can pair the original stretch shorts lineup with the Chubbies lineup of Friday shirts, which are just good looking. You're cooking with gas with these things. They got casual button downs. They've got retro inspired prints.
And
They're-
look, it's
what?
summer. We got to talk about the Chubbies classic lined swim collection.
Oh,
all right.
yeah,
Without
baby.
hyperbole, the absolute top of the men's swimwear game. All right.
I saw you sporting those at the beach this weekend.
You saw me popping my little thighs out in that
Yeah.
4-inch.
Yeah. God, you lucky guy. Ugh. Would you look at that, folks? For a limited time, our friends at Chubbies are giving our listeners 20% off with the promo code BAES at checkout at chubbiesshorts.com. That's 20% off your order with the promo code BAES. So support our show and tell them we sent you. Don't just blend in with the crowd. Stand out with Chubbies. I mean, that's just fantastic. And like you said, is Pelosi behind it? I think so. I think she is
Well, that's
one of
what
the more
hurts
powerful people.
He obviously didn't do this willingly. You know, no idea what's going on over there. We'll probably find out more. But the reaction with all these like mainstream media, people being like, "This is the most heroic thing I've ever seen in my life. This is the epitome of an American patriot." Is just this guy is going kicking and screaming. You know, he's got his claws in the fucking curtains in the Oval Office. He's being dragged out, and the only real reason he's being dragged out is because, you know, fundraising money started drying up. People were, whatever, the Ford Foundation or all these things were literally like,
George Clooney, Batman?
George Clooney, but people
Danny Ocean?
were literally saying, we're gonna withhold tens of millions of dollars unless you replace this guy.
By the way, the Biden campaign has $96 million in their bank account. And within the first 24 hours, Kamala Harris raised $81 million. So just came shy of their entire stack.
When that's from grassroots donations. When you do it all with the like big donor packs and everything, it was close to like a quarter of $1 billion.
Well, I sit here fucking humiliated and I feel
No.
like a total dipshit.
There's no reason to,
No, I know. I'm joking.
because that's an impressive grassroots haul.
Yeah.
But well, so maybe we should back up. So there was a lot of people. This happened on Sunday, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Everyone was a bit confused about what was going to happen. It seems like already. I mean, this is Tuesday. She's already the presumptive nominee. The way it works with the delegates and everything is that she would need to get 1,968 delegates.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure she's at the time of this recording.
She got it, yeah.
It's at like 2,200 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean,
So how does it normally work? Can you explain that to us, idiots?
yeah, it's
Briefly, concisely.
it used to work where, before the 1968 convention, which all went crazy, it used to be kind of the convention was an actual nominating convention. People would send delegates to go represent their wishes and stuff. And
Now, is that kind of like the Electoral College?
no,
Okay.
this is the nominating process for the DNC or the RNC.
Okay.
But then people were like, we deserve to have more of a say in this.
We deserve
So
to have more of a say.
you get the primary system where people are like, they're directly voting for who they want to be elected in their state.
Mm-hmm.
And there's all these weird clauses, and they're writing their own rules anyway, right? The DNC is writing their own rules so they can make changes. They have something called, the super delegates, where no matter what happens, they get to pledge their delegates to whoever they want. But so, yeah, there's this weird thing, there's clauses like they don't necessarily have to vote for who they pick. They vote for who they think best represents their constituents' wishes and things like that.
Even if it goes against the constituents' wishes.
If it was egregious, it would be a problem. I think what everyone's relying on right now is that everyone voted for the Biden-Harris ticket.
Gotcha.
So people, they're saying right now that Harris was actually a part of the primary process. I find it extremely frustrating. I think it was probably very naive, but I was hopeful that this was going to turn into some sort of mini primary, like very abbreviated primary that led to an actual open convention, which would at least, I think it sucks that she is just anointed the presumptive nominee. No one knows anything about her platform.
Right.
I mean, you can go off of, she was weirdly screened off of a lot of things because she was unpopular in the beginning. You can go off her 2020 campaign, which was fucking weird. I mean, if you're someone who's curious what she's going to do about student loan cancellation, how she's going to pick that up, like, I'm someone who's curious, her whole thing was, if you're a Pell Grant recipient operating a business for more than 3 years in a disadvantaged neighborhood, then you might receive some kind of, it's like, dude, what the fuck does this person...
I'm going to preempt what I'm about to say with, please take this with a grain of salt. I obviously don't... Anyway, a friend of mine sent me a video of Dave Portnoy, who put out a video on Twitter that I found interesting because he said he was pointing out the glaring hypocrisy in the Democrats' whole platform being, we've got to save democracy from Donald Trump. But then they stage essentially a coup in this way that is so anti-democratic in that they are, like you said, anointing Kamala Harris by just skipping this otherwise entirely democratic process.
Well, which is, and there's a precedent for it at this point with, 2016, obviously people were like, this is not good. The coronation of Hillary Clinton is not, people are not going to like this. 2020, it happens again with Obama making some phone calls behind the scenes, having every major candidate drop out to coalesce around Biden to beat Bernie, which now they're just like openly, before it was like, oh, you guys are all conspiracy theorists. Now they're just openly being like, yes, they needed Joe Biden to beat Bernie. And that was the thing. Biden's whole message to businesses was nothing will fundamentally change. And I do think there is I can't know, but it is, with how long they've waited to do something like this, it has made it impossible for anyone for any progressive candidate to actually run or try to make any dent in this thing.
Which makes you go, okay, for me, I was having quite an existential crisis about this last night because I'm thinking, okay, obviously I don't want Donald Trump in there. And do I trust the Democrats? No. But also, there's a part of me that's like, okay, I guess they're going to do whatever they've got to by any means necessary to prevent him getting in there, even if it does involve some shady shit. But then I'm like, why should I accept that? And also, what can I do about it? Fuck all. Well, folks, it's official. School's out. Summer's here. Maybe you're on vacation. Maybe you're taking that long, much-needed sabbatical. But we all know that when the temps go up, so does that body odor. Am I right, fellas?
I mean,
you stink, usually.
I cannot stop sweating.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, I'm worried about it
Mm-hmm.
until I found out about Mando.
Yeah, Mando, whole body deodorant. It's going to be your best friend this summer, just like it is Emil's. Mando is clinically proven to control odor for 72 hours. So you're not going to be walking around like a stinky winky. You're going to be smelling good. It's safe for the whole body, pits, package, feet, and everywhere in between. It stops odor before it starts, and it's available in 4 cologne quality scents: bourbon leather, Mount Fuji, Pro Sport, and Clover Woods. I'm partial to Mount Fuji myself.
And look, if you're like me, you got a busy schedule, all right? You're trying to jam everything in. You're trying to go
Constantly.
play tennis, but also go to the barbecue.
Mhm.
You know, you're trying to wake up early, go for a hike, but also make it to the pool party. And you're gonna want to keep Mando on you if you want to stay smelling fresh.
Yeah, you keep one in the gym bag. It's gonna last you, like we said, 72 hours. You might not be able to. It'll freshen up where a shower couldn't help you. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers if you're wondering where to get started. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. Luckily, we've got a discount code to help you get hooked on our favorite smelling whole body deodorant. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use
Ooh.
code BAES at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com. Use code BAES. But it's just something
Well, that's. I mean, that's what drives me nuts. So, I think it was maybe the same day it happened before Joe Biden dropped out. Did you see Aaron Sorkin's New York Times piece?
Oh, where he said they should put Mitt Romney in there?
So it's like the most liberal brain thing I've ever seen in my life. And it's almost like this was the end of their project, right? To get liberals to feel good about voting for a Republican or something like that. So he wrote this piece, and if you don't know who Aaron Sorkin is, he wrote tons of TV shows and movies. His big one is The West Wing, and I honestly think it's partly responsible for why a lot of liberals are so weird and stupid, because they watched The West Wing, which was just
dialogue heavy.
No, but it was always, the story revolved around, the Democrats doing the right thing. Like, there would be a problem, and then at the end they would be like, actually, Republicans, you can't do that. It's unconstitutional. And everyone would go like, we stopped him again. But in real life, that has never fucking happened. They go, that's unconstitutional. And they go, we don't give a shit. We're going to kill your guy and we're going to pack the court. And so he writes this whole thing about how it's called How I Would Script This Moment for Biden and the Democrats. And he says, but there's something the Democrats can do that would not just put a lump in people's throats with its appeal to stop Donald Trump at all costs unity, but with its originality and sense of sacrifice. So here's my pitch to the writer's room. The Democratic Party should pick a Republican. At their convention next month, the Democrats should nominate Mitt Romney. Does Mr. Romney support abortion rights? No. Does he want to aggressively raise the minimum wage, bolster public education, strengthen unions, expand transgender rights, and enact progressive tax reform? Probably not.
Oh, wow. I thought he was going to say yes. So take your pick.
But is he a cartoon thug who did nothing but watch TV while the mob he assembled beat and used tasers on police officers? No. The choice is between Trump and not Trump. And that's what it's always been. They now have a guy who can go, but look how bad he is. Why don't we just take Romney?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say earlier is...
I'm going fucking crazy.
The after watching the RNC, it was a party. I mean, they have no shame. I mean, good for them. I really got to hand it to them. They're all having a great time because they are unified. The Republicans are absolutely gung-ho, 100% behind their guy. There's very little infighting. They've got their shit together. They've got all their cast of crazy characters. People are excited to vote for Donald Trump. Whereas we've got not Trump. instead of Trump and like this guy or this woman, it's Trump and just default, and it's just before that also, before Biden stepped down, MSNBC was still shilling for him, and it was really amusing because they're like, well, Donald Trump may have dodged a bullet, but Joe Biden's beating COVID. Like that's a fucking comparison.
Right.
I got a bad cough, or I beat diarrhea.
The difference is that Donald Trump has popular support among his voters. The DNC has all this support among their, among their party, right? Mm-hmm. So everyone has already fallen in line. It also doesn't matter because no one dares challenge her. And I think that was part of what, I think they so desperately want to avoid any kind of situation like this again, where someone comes out with progressive policies that might be anti-business or something like that, or disrupt their ties to Wall Street.
Or uncle business.
And so, all this reporting is coming out now about just how long they've known about this. I mean, people might have seen this. It went viral on Twitter, but just the opening of this Wall Street Journal article shows how long they've known about this.
Known about what exactly?
About Biden's inability to function.
Oh, and they will, in 3-4 years' time, we will hear about how they all knew and had to keep it a secret, and they're going to play it off like they were doing a service to the country by doing what had to be done.
Well, and how many people were stepping in for him.
Yes.
So President Biden had just finished trying to persuade a group of congressional Democrats to pass a $1 trillion infrastructure bill when Nancy Pelosi, then the House Speaker, took the microphone. In 30 minutes of remarks on Capitol Hill, Biden had spoken disjointedly and failed to make a concrete ask of lawmakers, according to Democrats in the room. After he left, a visibly frustrated Pelosi told the group she would articulate what Biden had been trying to say. It was the first time I remember people pretty jarred by what they had seen, recalled Dean Phillips, who would go on to mount an unsuccessful primary challenge against the president. That was October 2021. That month was the last time Biden met with the House Democratic caucus on the Hill regarding legislation. So 2021, this guy was unable. They were just like, okay, don't have him make speeches anymore. He can't fucking do it.
Yeah. And then they, for the next few years, really kept him siloed, not only from the press, but from people within his own administration. And that's because he was so inept and old.
And he said there was a lot of talk. He was going to be one and done. He was like, I'll beat Trump. The country's rallied behind me. And then I'll pass the torch. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily to Kamala Harris, but had that been the case, that would have left a lot of people with the ability to kind of build momentum, run a real campaign, and run against Kamala or whoever the DNC machine wanted to put.
And then ironically, they show us just how two-faced and true to form that it's between a shit sandwich or a turd burrito or whatever it is, by doing exactly what Trump would have done, by just stubbornly staying in office and refusing to give up power.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating.
But so everyone's fallen in line. The majority of Democrats in the House, 186 out of 212, and Senate, 41 out of 47, and all Democratic governors in the U.S. have pledged support. As of yesterday evening, she had the support of enough delegates to clinch the nomination. And so pretty much
it's going to be Kamala.
Anyone who would have, like, all of those names you've heard of, Gavin Newsom, anyone who could have ran against her has backed her.
The question is who's going to be her VP. I don't know. Who do you think her running mate's going to be? Pete Buttigieg? Or Gavin? I think it'll be Pete Buttigieg or Gavin Newsom.
It's really unclear. I would obviously like her to pick someone more progressive, like
Bernie Sampo.
No, that guy needs to also retire. I mean, he's got no fight left in him. The governor from Minnesota, Tim Walz.
Oh, what about the astronaut guy? Arizona guy? No. He's too much of a space case, huh?
Yeah, that's one
space case, huh?
That's one way to put it.
His head's up in the clouds.
I think that's the best they can do, but
the Republicans are reeling. Donald Trump truthed. So we are forced to spend time and money on fighting crooked Joe Biden. He polls badly after having a terrible debate and quits the race. Now we have to start all over again. Shouldn't the Republican Party be reimbursed for fraud in that everybody around Joe, including his doctors and the fake news media, knew he was not capable of running for or being president? And then Ian Miles Chong said, Trump raises an excellent point. His campaign was forced to waste money against Biden for as long as it did, only for the Democrats to pull the rug out from under him by pulling Joe out of the race. This, if anything, is a form of cheating. Cry more, you bitch. You stupid little bitch.
Here's one thing I do think.
It's not cheating.
I do think Kamala has going for her.
What, the coconuts thing?
No,
I think she's got that going for her hard.
but Trump hasn't been able to seemingly come up with a good nickname for her, and that to me is maybe the marker of a viable candidate, because he has the capability to kind of eliminate people's campaigns before they even get started. You know, the whole Ron DeSanctimonious, the Pocahontas,
Sleepy
all
Joe,
of it, Sleepy Joe,
Lion Hillary, Crooked
but
Hillary.
He's tried a couple times with like smiling Kamala, laughing Kamala.
That's what his thing is?
And
Smiling
the
Kamala?
latest one I saw was cackling Kamala, and
That's pretty
It's
good.
like, quit trying to make cackling Kamala happen. It's not obviously there's a lot of video footage of her laughing,
Yeah.
but I don't know if laughing Kamala is really gonna do it.
No, it's not going to stick. If any, cackling Kamala. I will say, just to piggyback off of Jules, friend of the show, Jules Turpak, has said, do not underestimate the power of a TikTok edit video, like a fan cam, because there have been a ton that I've been seeing out there of Kamala Harris with the coconut thing, with her
the
dancing
brat
and
music,
shit.
with the
Charlie XCX endorsed her by saying she is brat or something. She is brat. Is that what they said? She said?
yeah, something.
Yeah, Brat being the title of her latest album, which
Right.
is essentially saying she's good.
It is unfortunate that, I mean, I'm sure we're going to find out more. She's doing all of her. Also, isn't it crazy how quickly it all happened? I mean,
Oh yeah,
every
my
time
head is spinning.
if I go on YouTube, I've already got an ad video from her.
Yeah,
It's wild.
I will say, I saw someone else chime in with this, and they took the words right out of my mouth. If I could advise Kamala Harris, do not acknowledge or lean into the coconut thing. Just let it happen, because as soon
I'm
as
just
you
getting
acknowledge
word-
it and start to own it, and
They said
like,
you cannot advise Kamala
yeah, no,
Harris.
don't do it. They said I can't.
Yeah.
Why?
You said if I could advise Kamala Harris, and I said I just got word.
I
that-
really hope she doesn't lean into it, because then that kills the bit. And there's nothing that young people
then
hate
she's
more
just
than
like,
you
I'm
killing
the
the bit.
kooky coconut lady.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, don't.
Well, she already
don't-
rejected the Mamala thing. I mean,
Oh,
it
Drew
felt like
Barrymore?
she did. Yeah, that's points.
Yeah,
for me.
Mamala doesn't
Like,
work.
When
Yeah.
she got really cringy with her, and you just see her really uncomfortable. I'm like, oh, that's good.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
What if Trump leans into that one? Kamala
you know what I call her? Mamala.
She's got great milkers. She's got big boobs.
No, I don't think that's gonna. I don't
Yeah.
think that's gonna win it.
Well,
Also, it's important. Like, so much of the age shit took over after the debate, and it's. I think this is also a gift to the Democratic Party, where there was a real groundswell mounting against Joe Biden for not just his age, but also horrific foreign policy decisions.
mhm.
Mass protests all across the country against the funding of, the genocide in Gaza, all of this stuff. We have no idea what her thoughts on any of this are, really. So
One can assume that they're probably the same as it's the same.
right. So
That's
it's
pretty much what the Democrats are relying on, is that we don't have to re-educate an entire voter base on what her policies would be. I also think it's a
But
gift.
I think you should. But that's
They probably will. They've
I
got
think-
the money.
right, and I think it's important that if they want to run a successful campaign, that they are going to. Joe Biden is not someone she should aspire to be. I mean, this was the guy when he was running for president said if Congress passes a bill making universal health care,
I'll sign it.
no, he said I would veto it.
Oh, I'll
if
veto
it comes to my desk,
veto it.
I'd veto it.
I'm going to veto
You
that
do not
shit.
want to be that man.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I also think that it definitely took the wind out of Trump's sails. It's so crazy.
I do
how
think it's
fast-
very funny timing to do it
We're
right
now-
after
Yeah, we're now just like, all right, yeah, he got shot in the ear, big fucking deal.
the entire. Not only that, the entire convention is them talking about beating a candidate who is no longer in the race.
Yeah. MOOMOO, MOOMOO. Everybody talking about MOOMOO. Everybody likes MOOMOO. Everybody I know got MOOMOO.
MOOMOO.
I love MOOMOO. MOOMOO is a great tool for not only the casual trader, but the seasoned investor, the professional and the beginner, and everywhere in between. I use it on a daily basis. It's so handy. I whip that thing out when I want to get all the data that I can find when I want to research a new stock or brush up on a stock that I've already been looking at. It's got a bevy of tools to analyze fundamentals and technicals alike, options flow. If all this stuff sounds confusing to you, why don't you dive in and check it out and see what all the fuss is about, all right? They got a nice little deal to sweeten it up for you. Am I right, Emil? Why don't you
You're
tell 'em
right,
about
all
it?
right? If you were thinking about it, you're going to really want to do it with this bonus
Why?
offer, all right?
I'm skeptical.
You're getting
Why?
a generous welcome bonus when you sign up, okay? We got 3 amazing rewards. Let me tell you about them. Number 1, we got the 8.1% APY cash sweep, okay? If you enroll and activate, you get 5.1% APY base rate plus 3% APY for 3 months.
Love that.
Number 2, up to 15 free stocks. Deposit $100 and get 5 free stocks. Deposit $1,000 and get 10 additional free stocks. And then
Wow.
lastly, there's a transfer-in bonus that I think a lot of people are going to get excited about. Get 1.5% cash back on your initial transfer amount up to $300.
Call me a cow because I am going to say moo-moo.
MOOMOO.
To me, that sounds like moo-moo. That sounds awesome. So check it out, gang. There's no reason not to get those free stocks and tinker around. See, you might learn something, okay?
That's a really funny thing to do.
Well, let's switch gears to the RNC. And before we do that, I had to play this quick clip of a young British man and his feelings about the United States of America, because I think it's pretty, I think it hits.
I've been driving for 5 minutes now and I can't wipe this smile off my face. I'm driving a Ram truck in America. Like, look how sick this is. Country music on the radio. Go on. I'm going to Hooters in a Ram truck in America, boys. Yeah. Praise for freedom.
I salute that young man. He's going to Hooters by himself in a Ram truck. By the way, the Ram truck has a higher front end than an Abrams tank.
I don't know what an Abrams tank
A
is.
fucking tank, man.
Welcome back to
Standard issue American tank.
Welcome back to the military.
Can see more in front of it than a fucking Ram truck. Any hoomst. The RNC,
Sound off in the comments if you know what an Abrams tank is.
They know what an Abrams tank is, man. Come on, man. So let's see. We're just gonna rapid fire this. Matt Gaetz looked like shit. Look at his dumb face. So this is a before and after. Pictured above is Matt Gaetz, who turned heads when he appeared at the Republican National Convention on Wednesday because of his overarched eyebrows. That wasn't
It's
just
so weird. The guy on the left is such a normal looking guy.
sort
Such
of.
a,
He's
like,
got one of those frown smiles though, where he's going somehow smiling while going.
He looks perfectly great.
The guy on the right though looks like
I don't understand.
looks like a chipmunk who made a wish to become human or some shit. I don't know. But he's just truly one of the world's worst people. And Kevin McCarthy went on to talk some shit about him. Let's watch that real fast.
Well, he looks very unhinged. I mean, a lot of people have concerns about him. And I'm not sure if he was on something, but I do hope he gets the help that he needs. But more importantly, I hope the young women get the justice they deserve.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, you're referring to the House Ethics Committee investigation that is ongoing.
Yeah, with
into him.
his partner in jail because they paid underage women for sex and drugs. Yeah.
Damn, man. Wait, you're buying drugs from underage women?
Yeah,
Surely you can find drugs from
women of age.
or just that it's fucking anyone else. Like, oh man, I'd be remiss if I didn't share this. You know, it's been a while since I've talked about the Nelk guys because I forgot that
You
they
love
exist.
the Nelk guys.
This guy is truly just the biggest.
That's why Ben's wearing this shirt. He applied for a job at Nelk Media.
Yeah, and I didn't get. I'm waiting to hear back, but this guy's just truly the biggest piece of shit that. I swear to God, if this kid ends up getting into politics, I'll him in the. I was trying to say something about
Mary Kill, AOC, Nancy Pelosi, or Michelle Obama.
Smash Pelosi, for
Sick.
sure. I fucking hate her political agenda, but she's got a fucking great rack. Great rack, I will say. Probably kill Michelle. She's just annoying and she has a cock.
Gotta
These
love
guys
this.
suck.
Yeah, I know this guy sucks
Wouldn't
so
feel
bad.
bad. And then, again, hate AOC's political agenda, hate all the climate change bullshit, but she kind of looks wifey. You can't lie.
Man,
Well-
I just hope something bad happens to that guy. I just really do. Like
I hate that, like, the political.
What?
I get that it's like cringe to be like, I would like a functioning government and think
Yeah.
it's maybe good that we do something about stuff. But I hate that I don't know. It's like base to be like, fucking climate sucks. That pisses me off.
Yeah, that's fake. That's fake.
It's
I
like-
don't think that's real. Jesus Christ. And speaking
I
of,
do think there's like I don't know. It's become weird and like, I don't want to say based again, but I don't know what there's something with young guys and the like comedy thing where they're like Trump is based and
yeah,
it has nothing to do with policy. Like there's no real there's no real fire behind what he's going to. It's just all like Democrats suck, which yes,
of course,
sure, but being like Trump is sick is just
because Trump has single-handedly reduced America. I mean, American politics were already a theatrical farce in itself, but he reduced it to having a public argument in a high school cafeteria where it doesn't matter about the substance of what you're saying. If you can successfully go like, yeah, well,
you
fat.
suck. You suck.
Yeah, well, you're fat and gay. Then you win.
Right.
And everybody goes, oh,
yeah.
He pointed out one of your flaws that may or may not even be real.
It's a good tactic.
Yeah, it is a really good tactic. It works.
Please put that I didn't get owned.
Yeah, can the record show that I did not get owned? No, well, actually. Okay, so I find it amusing that these same people who were like clutching their pearls at some people rejoicing or wishing that Trump had actually died, they just turn right back around and advocate for violence.
Fight! We got time. Come on. Hey, we are
got time.
in the fight for the soul of our nation. We are in a fight.
Why don't we just split up already then? Why don't we just call it?
Well, that was
the
the
red
thing.
states, you got a country. The blue states, we got a country. So enough of, I'm just like, why not? Who gives a rat fuck? We'll still help each other financially as needed, but you guys have your rules. We got ours. Do your thing. We'll do ours. Suck my dick, everyone.
Those
and let's just call it.
do not reflect the opinions of the Ben and Emil
No,
show.
they do.
Our kids and our grandkids, a fight that we can never imagine. I believe wholeheartedly Donald Trump and Butler County's J.D. Vance are the last chance to save our country politically. I'm afraid if we lose this one, it's going to take a civil war to save the country, and it will be saved.
There it is. It's going to take a civil war.
And going into
They
this,
love it.
their whole thing was our message needs to be unity. So
Yeah.
they want to make sure they're talking about unifying the country.
So when Donald Trump got up there, he rambled for about 90 fucking minutes. His name was in giant lights. It looked like a Broadway production. And he came out. I was on my way. I was just arriving to meet someone, and I was listening to it live on the radio, hearing this guy sing "I'm Proud to Be an American," and then I had to get out of my car. From the
It's so
lakes of
crazy.
Minnesota.
To the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea.
I mean, I'm not going to play the whole, but just his name in lights. He came out. He rambled for like an hour and a half. One of the big things
He
that,
played all the hits.
of course, a lot of Bitcoin people are Trump people. That's a really easy one. Why can't the Democrats just say that too? Like, hey, we also won't fuck with your Bitcoin. Just boom, there, you got it. They just, God damn it! I'm so fucking frustrated by the Democratic Party. They're just so.
But what if they do plan on
incapable.
having like actual real regulations around this stuff that is now become a
Then just lie.
speculative
just
asset?
lie to us, please.
I don't
Just-
endorse that.
Just lie to us. Just tack on one more. Oh, summertime.
We got one more sponsor for you guys, and you're going to want to listen up.
You're going to need this one. I think you need this. You especially during the summer. I need it because it's too hot to cook. It's too hot to go to the store. It's too hot to worry about all this stuff.
We're talking about Factor, all right? Fuel up for those warm, sunny days with Factor's no prep, no mess meals, all right? Meet your wellness goals in time for summer thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto.
These things are tasty, folks. All right, they're tasty. They're
never
good.
Frozen.
They're never
dietitian
frozen.
Approved.
They got a lot of options. They got 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons. And I swear to God, they are delicious. I am kind of addicted to them.
He's kind of addicted to Factor, and that's a whole nother thing.
You got it from breakfast to dessert. You can stay fueled with easy, nutritious options. They are restaurant-quality meals that feature premium ingredients like filet mignon, shrimp,
and the best
black
part,
and salmon.
The best part?
What? No, cleaning.
You're keeping kitchen time to a minimum.
Keeping
all
kitchen
right?
time to a
Factor
minimum.
meals are ready in 2 minutes. That's no shopping, prepping, cooking, or cleaning up.
Now that's a Factor.
Effortless. All right. Head to factormeals.com/BAES50 and use code BAES50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month.
That's huge.
That's code BAES50 at factormeals.com/BAES50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active.
Folks, that's an insane deal.
Insane deal.
For tasty food, get it while you can. People were also describing Trump as being more reserved, that perhaps he had kind of a spiritual awakening after nearly getting killed. And to that,
wouldn't it be cool if that actually happened? It like changed his whole
God,
shit
yeah.
up. He was like, you only got one life to live. You got to be nice to each other.
Yeah. You know what? I changed my opinion about a lot of things. That would be really something. That would be really nice. But of course, it didn't happen. Did you see J.D. Vance's joke that he made?
I am obsessed with this. Here's the thing.
He is right.
A lot of people, no
He's
matter
right.
what we say about Trump, you cannot deny that he's got the fucking juice. And like watching this, it's like, oh man, you just don't fucking have it.
You don't have it, man.
This is...
It is the weirdest thing to me. Democrats say that it is racist to believe, well, they say it's racist to do anything. I had a Diet Mountain Dew yesterday.
I'm going to let that sit.
God, play the fucking
And
thing.
one today. I'm sure they're going to call that racist too, but it's good.
It's...
I love you guys.
I love you guys.
It's like being at an open mic. It's really...
So, I got a hot dog the other day, and I'm
watching that nervous, and then I love you guys, is fucking beautiful.
Who's drinking Diet Mountain Dew? Just, if you're going to go, just drink the fucking Mountain Dew, you freak. I didn't even know they make Diet Mountain Dew. You could come up with something better than
I mean, he had all the time in the world to come up with any weird culture war thing he wanted to stir up. And he was like, I'm going to talk about how they'll get you for anything. The fact that I drank, in his mind, he was like, the fact that it's diet is like, oh, well, they would have made fun of me for that. And so that's something they would say is racist.
Oh, Babu.
Fucking psycho.
Oh, my God. All
JD,
right.
you don't have the stuff, man.
This is my favorite highlight from it. This is Governor Jim Justice.
Every single thing that's going on in this great country today is one thing.
Have you seen
We've
this?
become totally unhinged if Donald Trump is not elected in November.
So for the audio listener, you're just going to have to suck it up. But this is a great big guy. His name is Governor Jim Justice. And the payoff from this is the visual that accompanies it when the camera pans out, which is the following.
Really good.
Forgot. Look at the look on his face.
My favorite thing about
it reveals a little fat bulldog sitting on a couch on a chair next to him.
My favorite thing about the one thing I saw at Kamala was someone asked what she would have done if she was doing the debates against Trump.
Mm-hmm. Oh, because that's what he's calling for. He wants to debate her multiple times. Yeah.
Well, she had responded that, because he was going behind Hillary and doing weird things, and she said, if he was doing that to me, I would just say, why are you being so weird? Stop that. And everyone was pointing out, like, why doesn't everyone start talking to weird conservatives like that and being like, why are you being so weird?
That's a great point.
And
yeah, why don't they start doing
and
that?
it's
like, what did you just say? Why would you say that?
And right, like instead of being like you're stupid, or just being like you're being so weird.
Yeah.
But I find it so funny. But this is the governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz.
What I know is
it's a little long, but he talks about that. He's from Minnesota, and he talks about how like he grew up in a small town where people were, that Trump is kind of going after, and how that's just play it.
People like J.D. Vance know nothing.
Okay, wow. Should I play it?
No, play it a little faster.
Okay.
Play it sped up. I think play it sped up. So it's
okay.
But
all right, we're gonna do this at 1.25.
About small town America. My town had 400 people in it, 24 kids in my graduating class, 12 were cousins, and he gets it all wrong. It's not about hate. It's not about collapsing in. The golden rule there is mind your own damn business. Their policies are what destroyed rural America. They've divided us. They're in our exam rooms. They're telling us what books to read. And I think what Kamala Harris knows is bringing people together around the shared values, strong public schools, strong labor unions that create the middle class, healthcare that's affordable and accessible. Those are the things. You look what they're talking about. They went right to division. They did not give us a plan on healthcare. Donald Trump talked about infrastructure. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris built bridges, built roads. So I think this is going back to the bread and butter, getting away from this division. We do not like what has happened where we can't even go to Thanksgiving dinner with our uncle because you end up in some weird...
With our uncle? Makes it sound like we all got one uncle.
rewind it, because this is the one part I wanted you to watch.
No, I get it.
We do not like what has happened where we can't even go to Thanksgiving dinner with our uncle because you end up in some weird fight that is unnecessary. and I think bringing back people together, well, it's true. These guys are just weird. And, they're running for He-Man Women Haters Club or something. That's what they go at. That's not what people are interested in. And there is angst because robber barons like J.D. Vance and Donald Trump gutted the Midwest, told us we didn't do that. They talk about private schools. Where in the heck are you going to find a private school in a town of 400? Those are public schools. Those are great teachers that are out there making a difference and gave us an opportunity to succeed. That angst that J.D. Vance talks about.
But it's that where it's just like, what is your guys' deal? Why are you so weird? I feel like that should be everyone's fucking...
Yeah.
Just like... And that's a thing. Like, no one wants to go to Thanksgiving dinner and have their fucking...
Uncle.
Our uncle. Be like, what do you think about trans women in sports? It's like, dude, what are you...
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Speaking of weird... There was also, I mean, there's so many great highlights from the RNC. Oh man, they took it out. Did they take it out? Fuck. There was a woman grabbing her crotch.
Yeah, that was exceptionally weird.
That was exceptionally weird. She may have had an itch. I mean, I hope she got it worked out. But yeah, there's a shot of Trump doing this, his breathing through the teeth move. God, I really don't like him. And Hulk Hogan was a highlight. If you missed it, don't worry, we've got it.
At my hero. And they tried to kill the next president of the United States. Enough was enough. And I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother. Let Trumpomania rule again. Let Trumpomania make America great again.
See, they know how to have fun. You got to hand it to them.
They
know how to have fun.
It never really, I can't quite reconcile. We see all these videos online and they get a lot of good footage. I think it's unfair. I've talked about this before. I kind of hate it when like the Daily Show goes to a Trump rally and they're like, look at these fucking, they walk around all day looking for like
the perfect soundbite.
Right. And they go like, this is what Trump people are like. He obviously is getting most conservatives to vote for him. And it's funny because, where I grew up in New Jersey, it was a suburb of New York. There was like just regular liberal people and like regular conservative people. And the moms I know who were Republicans who are now voting for this, I cannot wrap my brain around it. Just like,
really?
Super
sweet angel women who are just like, their brains are poisoned. I
don't get how they're not like, what the fuck happened to us when they see Hulk Hogan just ripping his
It's the lead and gasoline, man. The lead and gas and paint that they grew up with.
I truly wish I could just, sit down with Debbie and Maria and really just...
I do blame a lot of liberal shows like The Daily Show that only serve to paint them as the other who is crazy, and it does it's entertaining, sure, and it does make a good point or whatever that some of these people's brains are poisoned and rotted out from the inside. But it only further isolates us by having us more liberal-minded people view them as everything that I just said of like brain rotted and broken. But it just furthers the divide. I'm just tired of the division, man. I'm just really tired of it. I wish someone would put acid in the water.
Kill us all?
No, like good at like to have a good time. Did you see what Ryan Cohen, the GameStop guy, tweeted? He just wrote Trump 1,000 times.
I feel like these, someone made a joke on Twitter that's very funny. Like, leave it to all the Silicon Valley VC guys to buy at the top. They all got in on the Trump campaign.
That's pretty funny.
Right at the top.
Yeah.
When they're gonna have Kamala Harris, who's gonna be perfectly friendly to their interests.
I mean, when
and you don't have to seem like a fucking psycho to your wife when you tell her you're all in on Trump.
Look no further than how the market reacts. I mean, when we got news that it was going to be Kamala Harris, market really didn't care either way. I saw that the Libs of TikTok account, who for years rails against how it's stupid and backward ass thinking to try to get people fired for their political views, did exactly that. They got this woman fired from Home Depot.
Dude, that has been their MO the entire...
I know. It's crazy making, man.
Always been bizarre. Their whole thing is, whenever a right-wing person gets doxxed, they go insane, but their whole thing is posting videos of like public school teachers and being like, you need to find this person and not just fire them, but maybe kill them.
Yeah. Did you see this? There's a handy infographic from a newspaper in Japan.
Yeah.
That shows that shows the two different parties, and I find it just hilarious. The right has a church and a Windows computer, and the left has Apple products and gay people, and a truck versus an
electric
car, Pepsi versus Starbucks, a black hip hop artist and a basketball player versus baseball and country.
New York Times versus the Wall Street Journal.
Oh yeah, public housing or like an apartment building versus a house. It's pretty on the nose how they see us. Shall we shift gears to the biggest outage in United States history that happened last week that still has shit happening this week? I mean, we're pretty much at the end of the episode here. We might as well pivot to this.
Sure. More funny stuff happened, I guess.
So let's see. If I had to sum it up, basically there's this company called CrowdStrike that it's a cybersecurity company. And
one of the biggest, like the second biggest cybersecurity company.
And it just shows how big they are by just how far-reaching this outage was. What had happened was they put out an update in their software, and this update, just whatever one line of code or something that some poor sad sack engineer put out there.
Apparently they said they didn't do enough rigorous testing on the update before putting it out.
They put it out, and that update did not disagree with Windows systems.
Did not agree.
Most of these problems, obviously, these companies are running Windows, so they just effectively shut down. So worldwide, we saw the collapse of computer systems across banks, airlines, healthcare systems.
They had blue screens of death.
Yeah, blue screens of death. And I've got actually some pretty good ones here. The Sphere in Las Vegas experienced an outage. It's got that's pretty good. There's an MRI machine just at a mall. It's just that classic kiosks everywhere, flights. Delta today, as of this recording, still, I think in the last 5 days they've experienced more flight cancellations.
Delta's still reeling from it.
Than the entire year of 2018. They're flat out fucked.
I mean, it's wild. So the big three U.S. airlines, United, Delta, and American, grounded flights in the early hours. By 5 p.m., 9,200 flights coming into or out of the U.S. were delayed out of the 38,000 affected worldwide. 2,650 U.S. flights were canceled out of 4,200 globally. Banks, traders at JP Morgan, UBS, Bloomberg, other financial institutions couldn't execute orders. One unnamed senior trader telling the Financial Times that it was the biggest upset in years. Hospitals.
I like this. There was a Deutsche Bank put out a put out a reaction to because Crowdstrike sold off. I think they sold off like 13% the first day and then another 11%, or maybe I have that backwards, but the stock is on sale. And they wrote their reaction, and this highlight right here is great. Our initial reaction on Friday was seeing a 10% plus pullback in a high-quality stock as a buying opportunity. However, we were ironically unable to publish our original research note due to the outage itself. That's great.
We love that.
We love that from Deutsche Bank.
I think Lena Khan came out and said, this is just another reason why consolidation and monopolization of all these industries is bad. You know, you get one bad piece of code and the entire country grinds to a fucking halt.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. And most importantly, the Starbucks mobile ordering was fucked.
Most importantly.
So I had to go inside Starbucks and stand there. Oh, and you know what happened? I swear to God, I don't know what this is. This has happened to me at multiple coffee shops, multiple times, and it drives me fucking crazy. I go up and I say, I just want a dark roast drip coffee with some...
I just want a dark roast drip coffee with some...
Oat milk.
Oat milk.
And the guy says, okay, sure. And then I pay, and instead of turning around and just getting it, that's fine. He doesn't do it. He helps the next person in line. And then he helps the next person. And then the next person after that who orders a drip coffee. And guess what he does? He turns right around and he gets them their drip coffee. And then the people...
If you didn't have this show, you would just be writing letters to companies.
No, I wouldn't write letters. I would send mail.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you would send mail, all right.
I would send mail.
And you'd be like, and then this young man turns around and gets a drip coffee.
So I'm standing there, and I watched the two people who ordered drinks after me get their drinks, which were more complicated than my simple drip coffee. And I see the guy standing at the register not doing anything, and I was fuming, man, because I needed that coffee. So I just politely leaned over and I said to someone else, I think the guy forgot my drip coffee. I just got drip coffee, please. And he said, oh, yeah, sure. And he took care of it.
You know how I'm trying to become like less confrontational and a nicer guy and all that stuff? I feel like you could there's a equilibrium somewhere where you're just like constantly fuming.
So what should I say to this guy? No, you need to get it now, sir. I just ordered it, so turn around and make it. Please, pour it in the cup.
No, but if he's handing out
to
coffees,
other people.
Be like, hey, I think you forgot me.
That happened to me at a coffee shop a couple years ago in Echo Park. It was New Year's Day, in fact.
New Year's Day.
New Year's Day.
On Ben's big year.
On the holiest of days. I go into this coffee shop and I order a drip coffee, and there's the tip screen. And I was feeling good. I was in a good mood because it was New Year's Day.
And he loves you too.
This guy's working New Year's Day, and it gives me the option. $1, $3, $5. I tipped him $5 on like a $3 coffee. He turns around and he's like, thank you.
50%.
And then he goes and he serves the next 10 fucking people, including multiple people who ordered a drip coffee, at which point each time he just turned around and he got it for him. And I'm standing there going, how the fuck did he immediately forget my order immediately after I ordered it and after I tipped him like over 100% on...
And that's Ben's take on the CrowdStrike order.
You know how long I stood there? For a good 5 minutes just stewing. I can't believe it.
5
Surely he
minutes.
sees me. I'm standing right here. He's got to remember me as the guy who just ordered the simple thing. Do I want to stop? No, I don't want to stop.
Ben, we're going to have to cool Ben off before the bonus episode.
No, I feel good. I feel cool as fuck. CrowdStrike having ass.
CrowdStrike having ass.
Everybody, it's a pretty big company. It's like a $70 billion company. There was another big hack. There was an AT&T hack, but it happened a couple years ago, and they managed to kind of keep it under the radar. And they put out a filing discreetly. Companies love to put out filings on a Friday just to bury it at the end of the week. But a few weeks ago, AT&T put out a Friday filing that said that call and text data for spanning 6 months worth of call and text data in 2022 from nearly all customers was part of a major breach, and that the Snowflake cloud
so it must
service,
have been some liberal.
Yeah, some liberal cloud service called Snowflake was to blame. And there's actually a hacker group called UNC 5537, and apparently they've been trying to extort people and sell the data. If they came to me and said, hey, I got all your text messages, I'd be like, fine, put them out there. See if people believe you. Go ahead. I don't care.
It is funny with everything being with how easy it is to just Photoshop real screenshots. I would just be like fake AI.
That's fake. It's AI. But I also remembered that the Snowflake CEO, before stepping down, he was brought on in 2019, and then they went public in 2020. He was making $95 million
Is that a lot?
A month. This guy.
Jump change.
I think just his working at Snowflake for a few years, they gave him $1 billion because he was that in demand. Anyway, so that's what happened. We got Kamala Harris. Joe Biden stepped down. The RNC happened. They're all reeling. They're trying to figure out how to go about giving Kamala Harris. What have we learned? They can't.
Shout out to Rashida Tlaib, the one Congress member I've seen who said, "I'm not endorsing. I look forward to talking to her and finding out what her actual positions are." And I hope she wants to move forward with fighting climate change, reeling in corporate greed, ending funding to the genocide in Gaza, all of these things.
And I look forward to finding out what Trump's nickname for her is going to be.
I think he's already I don't think he's got anything.
Cackling Kamala?
That's not going to cut it, dude.
It kind of works. Cackling makes Kamala, you sound insane. Laughing is not where the alliteration with cackling works.
It's just not like... We'll see.
Yeah, okay.
The BenandEmilShow.com if you want to come join us in the bonus.
We got a bonus. He told me not to watch something. Don't watch this either. Curious what Ben thinks of this. So we're going to get my surprise reactions to a whole bunch of shit.
Okay.
And now I'm crushing the Diet Coke can.
We love you. Bye.
Bye.